I Love You Everyday show. This is organized by Heart to Heart Guidance and Counseling Center, Benin City, Nigeria. It's another day for us to, explore what relationship is based on God's perspective, and that's particular with us here at H2A Center. And the topic today is the fundamentals of relationship. We're going to trash certain issues today, and our guests here on the show are going to be doing that for us. I'm sure you enjoyed Mrs. Sosa and then Barrister Amen, who tries a lot about communication. Today is about fundamentals of relationship. You're going to learn a lot. So get ready, get set. Let's meet with our, amiable guests today.
Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Ossai-Ugbah Tolu Alagba.
You're welcome.
And I am Favour Alagba.
All right. You've met our guests. We have Mrs. Tolu and then we have Favour Alagba. All right, let's get involved with the topic. It is fundamentals of relationship, and we want to know what are those things we should know before getting involved with relationship. And when it comes to relationship, those who are the most excited about this are the teenagers. From 13 years, they're already shaking a guy, or they're already crushing on a guy, if I should say. And the other way around, the guys are wondering, who are these species? Who are these set of persons they call females? And the reason why I want to begin from there is because fundamental speaks of the basics, speaks of the primary, speaks of what we should know first, even getting involved with dating. You understand? So we're talking to persons, apart from persons who are dating, we're talking to persons who are not dating, who are just, growing up. For example, like I said, the teenagers, obviously. So what are those things the teenagers should know if we are speaking to persons who are just coming up in relationship? What are those fundamentals they need to know? Because we cannot take away the fact that these persons are thinking, first of all, about relationship. Even though they're not getting involved. Some will tell you he's just a friend. Some guys will tell you she's just a friend. But we know, we don't pass that stage, but we know, say, you like this guy. You get. So let's educate, the teenagers. I'm using the teenagers because, like I said, they are just coming up. They are thinking about it. They are not getting involved with it. Why some persons who are above being the teenage age are not yet involved, but they need to know the fundamentals. They seem to know the fundamentals. You get. So let me hand over this to Mrs. Tolu to do this for us before we get to hear from Favour.
Thank you very much. Today's topic, I really love it a lot because we would be talking to the teenagers. A lot of teenagers are out there. They are really naive when it comes to relationship. They just want to get into relationship because their friends are doing it, or because their friends are pressuring them like, are you not old enough? Don't you see that guy? Is he not cute? So I feel they need to know the basic principles about these things. Like they need to know the rules. They need to know, okay, these are the do's and don'ts of relationship before they embark into the relationship. Like from what I've written down, because I really took my time to write things down, so I don't exceed time. So first thing I wrote here is trust. For you to go into a relationship, you need the trust. Like, okay, student, you are in school, you're seeing someone in school, and then you're like, I like this guy, what do I do? And then you're looking at it like, okay, should I tell someone, should I not tell someone? And you're looking at the guy like, hey, if I don't make moves, this guy might go. But then there are some things you still need to know about trusting this person, because for all we care, this guy might be a cheat. Or it might just be somebody that's been into the relationship before and has seen you as a fresh meat. Let me take this one and then let me get on with it. Then I also wrote down healthy communication. Like, okay, let me not say they're still in school. Let me say, okay, they are freshly out of school, SSC, and then they are like, okay, I like this guy. I saw him when I went to find out where to do JAM lesson. Of course, they'll do JAM. They want to get into university, and they're like, okay, I'm of age, I should start this relationship thing. And then you see somebody, you need to be in communication with the person. Of course, after the being friends, we start from friends now, we're talking and all. You need healthy communication. Like, you need to know what this person wants for you. Of course, it's just relationship. It might not lead to marriage. It's just relationship, but you need this communication thing, like maybe it's on the phone. And nowadays children, okay, let me not say children, teenagers, they have their own phones. They are, like yesterday while I was in church, I saw a guy of 16 years old. He already has an Android phone, and I was like, okay, when I was 16 years old, what happened to me back then? I had nothing. All we do was just write notes, then give to somebody, and then, so I feel the notes too is also communication, but people don't do it now anymore. So I feel communication is good. You can chat on WhatsApp, Facebook, make calls, send SMS. So healthy communication is good too. And then respect. You need to respect each other. Like, okay, even though you're of the same age mate, respect goes a long way. Like, okay, you see him on the road and then you just give him a slap at the back of his head, like, guy, which can you play with that? So I think respect goes a long way too. And then honesty, you need to be honest with anything you do. That's why I said earlier that some ladies are naive. The guys have already, okay, let me say, the guy she likes has already done this kind of thing before, and then he knows everything, and then you are there doing love, and then the guy knows what he wants. You know the end point of what he wants. So I feel when you guys are honest with each other, it also goes a long way. Then you need to be patient, and then above all, you need to love the person. So children will say, okay, oh, sorry. Teenagers will say, okay, I love him, but does he really love you? Or I love her, does she really love you? So you need to find out all these things ahead. So this would help you at least to have a healthy relationship. I feel that's just it for me.
Guys, you hear that? That was incredible. Talking about those little things, I would want to call them. Earlier on, the last show we had, I spoke that little things actually makes the big differences. And so these little things, all right, you just mentioned, are things that people just put away and say, those things are already sorted out because love the cash, you just want to get involved immediately. And to the teenagers as well, don't forget this factor, okay, when it comes to the fundamentals of relationship. Get a mentor. If you are not very close to your parents, you don't have a relationship with your parents, let your mentors, okay, let them know, let your parents know about him. Tell your mentor or tell your parents, oh, this guy, I really like this guy, and we ask you some certain questions that will question your emotions, check your emotions. Are you really in love, or you are really falling? Or let's use the word falling now. So all those things will be checked. Don't just make a decision rashly as a teenager. I know your blood is hot. Calm down. There are many of us who went through teenage age and we were calm. All right, we actually put ahead, because if you see your future, if you understand where you are going to, you don't get to gamble with things. You take your time, you make a very good decision. So going forward, we want to know from Favour now that there are some things that have been spoken about when it comes to relationship, about starting a relationship. Many persons have different view about starting a relationship. So we'll tell you that as you're going to a relationship, get ready for sex. It's sex that is a major thing now. If you don't do sex, you're not in a relationship. You understand? That's obviously a societal kind of view of things when it comes to relationship. Some persons to tell you that you must break your head though as you are going inside though. Both of you must fight. And people get scared. Like, this relationship thing now, what kind of big thing right now? But the truth is, when you know what is right, when you know God's perspective of relationship, it helps you make the decision. So could you help us, Favour Alagba now, open these things up and tell us why you think they are wrong. All right, if possible. I just mentioned one of them. Maybe you have to start with that to help us, open it up and tell us. I know that the society says relationship is this, is sex, and everything. But just help us with that. I want our teenagers to actually know these things and help them rather, with relationship as they go forward.
Okay, thank you very much. This is it. First, before going into relationship, anyone going into relationship, be it teen or an adult, the first thing the person must know is know yourself. You must know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you go into it and you will fall miserably. And then you say, relationship does not work for me. Exactly. So first you have to know yourself, know what you want, know where you are going to, know the achievement, your plans, your goal. Just have them on the table. Know it very well, because whoever you want to go into a relationship with, to you, actually, you feel this person can help me get to where I'm going to. Though whosoever, same with the lady or the guy, they always have this person, okay, this person will. And that is where first trust is being given birth to, like what she said. So if you know who you are, you know what you want, you know where you are going to, then you fix it already. So you're not waiting for, okay, if you're the lady, you're waiting for the guy that will come. If you're the guy, okay, your antenna is fixed, or your Zenda, your Bluetooth is on, and like, wait, who is this lady that will fit in? That is it. So when that is settled, fine. But we can't remove the part of peer pressure, social media, what they watch on social media, even from families. Some persons have terrible experience from their family, actually. So you can't. So some guys or some ladies, like, I'm scared of this thing because if I go into it, maybe my husband will beat me the way my father is beating my mom, and I don't want to. So for those persons, they are restrained from going into it. They like, if you just come to talk to them, they're okay. But when you bring that word relationship, or I love you, it kind of send a cold shiver down their spine, and then they want to avoid these persons, even when these persons are not bad in themselves. So first thing is, when you know yourself, you check out the things that you are afraid of. Yes, know the things you are afraid of. Know the things that if one should do it to you, if you experience it, is a no for you. Know them. Just have them at the front of your mind, and not back this time around. Have them at the front of your mind, because they will serve as, like, how will I put, like satellite that will help you get the right signal. So what are you afraid of? What are those things that makes you happy? Yes, what are those things that make you happy? But you know what you're afraid of, you know what are those things that make you happy, you know those things that motivate you, those things that make you be at your peak. Then when you've known all of these things, you are set. Now you are set. So then, for those things you are afraid of, most times is born from, let's say, biological, like family, that you can't actually run away from. Then probably from the social media of you even attended school. I attended a boarding school, and man, if you hear some things, you know how to enter the relationship and all of that. Yes. When you hear some things like, is this what they expect? You're like, oh, I beg. But because you're not a Catholic, so being a Reverend sister is out of it. Yeah. Now, being a Reverend sister is actually out of it. So can be biological, can be social, can be environment. Now, when you know where the issue is coming from, if it's biological, okay, you know where it is. And if it's biological, like you've said before, you should have a mentor, and said, to go to a mentor and say, this is my fears. This is my fears. I know I'm coming of age. I'm already having sparks, butterflies are already going in my stomach, and I mean, this guy, when his face shape, his nose, his eyes, and because the truth is, this thing come naturally. Yes, it comes naturally. You don't need to want to enter into relationship. Actually, you just see yourself navigating towards that direction. Yes. So when you see yourself, because if you know yourself, you already know the stage you are in at that particular time. So because you know it's something you will eventually enter into. So if it's biological, meet your mentor, your pastor, or another person you trust, and say, okay, this is what I'm facing at home. My parents, my siblings, my uncle, whatever. Then they will talk to you. They will help you go through it very well, and where you have to work on it, and then you know that aspect is settled. That aspect, that fear is settled. If it's, let's say, the social media, what you've seen in social media, and they're like, wow, or your friend sent you a picture like, what is this? So then you have to look for a way to place a ban. Don't go to those sites. Don't do all of those things. Okay, if it's environment where you grow up, because there are some persons that grow up in the ghetto, so they've had a very terrible experience. Some ladies at a very younger age, they were raped. Some guys, they were molested. So a relationship is not something, it's not fun for them. It's not something as though their feelings are been snared or closed with hot irons, and they're like, no, it's not my thing. So such persons, they need to know and understand this aspect. And if all these things have been tackled by them, Now we should enter the real mind. Man, it's sex, so if not be sex, nothing again. That is not true. Relationship is not about sex. It's about knowing the person you are entering the relationship with, because you've come to know yourself. And the truth is that person cannot be you, and you can never be them. So, and since your father did not give birth to him, or your mother did not give birth to him, there's tendency for you guys to quarrel. I think that comes when you say every good relationship is void of quarrel. It's a lie. It's a big lie. You will quarrel very well, but that doesn't mean you have to break the guy's head or break the lady's head. Yes, but there'll be atoms of misunderstanding. The beautiful thing about misunderstanding is it actually makes you know the person better. That is one beautiful thing about misunderstanding. So when you people kind of have a misunderstanding about a particular issue, the truth is, you have to become to understand. Yes. You have to become to understand, because when you know yourself and you know, okay, this is actually my goal. This is where I'm going to with this person. Because the truth is this, not everybody that's in a relationship have the goal of marriage. Yes. Some persons want to just use it to learn. Yeah, they want to use it to learn, to have a feeling of how it looks like. Some persons actually want to end up in marriage. Some persons like a particular character, attitude in a particular person, and then they want to actually have access to it to help themselves, and then so they can move forward. Yes, the other part of the person they don't really like, but that part they like, they want to. So the truth is, there are so many things one will hear. Whatever you hear, don't just take it and assimilate. Put yourself in perspective with this thing. Is it okay with your belief, first of all? For those that are Christians, is it okay with your belief? Is it okay with what God has said concerning you? Because whether you are a Christian or you're not a Christian, there's a conviction in your heart about where God is taking you to, what God wants you to do. You might not hear a vocal voice like, hey, my son or my daughter, but there is something that is pushing you. So you have to settle that in your heart. And then whatever is coming, one thing, we are not propagating sex actually, but don't just know that the guy you like the guy. There's a common one. Man, I like this guy. He's good. He's caring. But what he's asking is for sex. And then some persons will like, okay, they have to cut it off there. And some persons like, let me just give it to him. There's nothing else I want to give to him. Now, this is what they should do. In that aspect, that is what you must understand. If you know you are not going into marriage with this person, there's no point giving that person a part of you. Because sex actually is a part of you. So there's no point giving that person a part of you. So if you know that this thing will not end into marriage, you cheerfully look for a way that what the guy likes, and change the conversation. And if the guy sees that you always change this conversation, you have to look for a way, pray, and see how it just goes out. And if the guy has a friend that you know will not want him to do such, you talk to the friend to advise him, or talk to someone. That is one thing. Your relationship shouldn't be secret. Yes, don't keep your relationship to yourself. If you're in a relationship, let another person know, let other persons know. This will help you a lot. And even the minds you think, what you think should be or should not, they will also, when you see it coming, you talk to them, and it will settle it in your heart as far as it's in line with God, with what God has said. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that was a great one. Thank you, Favour Alagba. Thank you, Mrs. Tolu, already for dishing out some of the fundamentals already of relationship. And so let's go forward in talking about the foundation. That will be the last hit for today, for this episode. Bible says in Psalm 11:3, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? It was a question. I believe that the reason why many marriages experience what they experience is because of how they started their relationship. Do you understand? So I want you to give us an idea way, or the best way, based on God's perspective, to kickstart a relationship. So when you kickstart, what's the first thing to do? Or before you say yes to the guy, what are the things you consider? And then when you begin, what's the first thing to do that period? Do you understand? Because I believe that first year of your relationship determines a whole lot of what happens. Whether you're going to get married, whether you're not going to get married, or whether whatever happens, that 1 year determines it, or the first 6 months or 3 months will determine a lot. So how do you create it, or how do we learn about creating the best foundation based on God's perspective about relationship? I'm going to hear from both of you, but I'm going to start with Mrs. Tolu.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for this question. And to answer your question, every relationship should be based on God. Trust me, it should be based on God and God's word. Because there's no how you want to do it. Some people say, okay, oh, this answer is churchy answer. But then nobody wants to embark into a relationship without God being involved in the relationship. Apart from a lot of things that you need to note afterwards, but then you still need to ask God, like, okay, this relationship I'm about to embark on now, God, I am scared because of like things she said, peer pressure, and then you have this mindset that all guys want sex, and then you are scared, like, okay, oh, I don't want to have sex in my relationship, I just want this relationship to go well, and then see it leading to marriage. So you need God, yes. And then for other things that you need, again, outside God, you need trust. Because, like I said earlier on, trust, there's no relationship without trust. You cannot start a relationship without trusting the person. You need to trust the person. You need to go all out trusting the person, because if you don't trust the person, then how can you be in the relationship with the person? You cannot just be in the relationship with the person, because once the person calls you and then you're hearing noise, you're like, where are you? You told me you were inside your house. How come I'm hearing this noise? How come this? How come that? And then you're wondering, like, and I won't marry this kind of person. No. Some guys can't handle it. Even some ladies can't handle it. And then you see some people, because they don't trust even themselves, there was a guy I dated back when I was still dating. The guy cloned my WhatsApp. I swear to God. He cloned my WhatsApp. Anything I do, this guy will tell me what I did. And I'm like, am I dating an angel? This guy not be angel. So what is going on? So the last thing he did that wowed my mind, okay, in church, after officiating my unit, we go out, we take pictures, and then they send it to the group. And then picture away, I don't even have the picture. He sent me the picture. I wanted to go mad. I was like, where did you get this picture? He said, don't worry, I have my source. You have your source, K? No. We have to see. And then I already asked somebody. I was like, okay, is there a way somebody can be watching over you that you don't know about? And then they're like, okay, what if the person clones your WhatsApp? I'm like, it's true, because there was a time he asked me for my phone that, okay, his phone, the network wasn't working, that he wants to use my phone. So he went to Google, scanned my barcode from my WhatsApp, and then that was it. And I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. So I just told him it was over, because if you don't trust me, then why are we together? And like, you you want to kill me. I was like, okay, is this guy an angel? Because the guy don't even look like angel, so why should I be thinking you're an angel? So I think trust is very, very okay. Trust is very key. Then communication. I said that earlier also. You can't be in a relationship with somebody and not communicate with the person. Tell me, what are you doing when you're in a relationship with somebody and you talk to each other only once in a week? That one is not even friendship, self, because even friends, they talk to each other every day. So you should be able to communicate with each other. Like, okay, these are the things I want in this relationship. Okay, let's sit together. Where do we see ourselves in the next 2 years? Like, okay, where is this relationship going? Like, some people say, okay, oh, you have started again. And then you even go further and say, what are your long-term goals for this relationship? Because you can't tell me that, okay, you like me, you love me. And then every time I come to you, I say, you're so sexy. You're so sexy. And then you're so sexy, you're dragging me to your bedroom. No, it shouldn't be like that. That's what you want in your head. That's your short-term goal. I want the long-term goal. Let me know where we're going after this. Okay, what do you have for me? What do you have in plan for me and for this relationship? Where do we see ourselves in the next 2 years? I want to know that, okay, oh, this is what we have for each other. Okay, I want us to be planning marriage after 2 years, at least we would have known each other very well up to the extent of, okay, we'll be able to plan marriage. So I feel communication is key also. Then appreciating each other goes a long way. You get to spend quality time together also. Spending quality time together is good. Then make sure you respect each other, apologize often, then also know how to compromise, know how to sacrifice. So I think I'll just put a pin on this here right now so I don't spend too much time. Thank you. Okay.
All right. So, just to add to what she have said, no, the foundation is good. The foundation is good, and God was the first institutor of marriage. He was the one that instituted marriage from the beginning. And if you've seen a guy, you've seen a lady, and you've said, wow, I think this person will make a good husband, will make a good wife, it means that your destination for this relationship is marriage. And then the truth is, in building the foundation, the guy alone will not build the foundation. The lady alone will not build the foundation. Both of you are the mason, the bricklayer of the marriage or of the relationship. Two of you must say yourself, okay, this is the kind of building we want to have. So what kind of foundation? You know, the foundation of the house determine how high the building will go. So two of you must determine the kind of foundation. And when you know the kind of building and the kind of foundation, you now have to tell yourself, okay, these are the things that we have to put. These are the bacons. These are the pillars we have to put. So, like she said, trust is part of it. Trust, what she have actually said, they are okay. But there is something that the two of them must also do. And that thing is boundary. No, the people making the mess, the bricklayers always have boundaries. Okay, here to here, for the sitting room, there must be boundaries. You must know your boundaries. You must know your weaknesses. Now, let's leave the strength for the now. The strength will always come, and then it's fun to have your strength and display your strength. But your weaknesses is what two of you must talk about. Yes. You must talk about your weaknesses. Talk about your weaknesses. You tell her, sister or brother, this is, see, if you should show me this, or if I should see this, or if you do this, man, we are where we don't want to be. Or we'll be going where we don't want to be. She talked about not being in a secluded place, to being in the open. So you must tell her or you tell him your weaknesses. And because this person truly loves you and the plan is marriage, they will help you guide your weakness. Yes, they will intentionally want to help you guide your weakness. So you have to talk about it in building your boundaries, because you might have your personal boundary. She might have a personal boundary, or he might have a personal boundary. But two of you will have to talk about it and then help yourself build the kind of home you want to. Thank you very much.
Guys, I'm already soaked in knowledge, because this show you have to just follow up. You just have to follow up. Episode 3. Let me not talk about it. But then, from what we have gotten today, guys, don't forget that a threefold cord can never be broken. It is strong. All right. So yourself, your partner, and then God have to be involved with your relationship. Both of you, three of you rather, always communicating. Always in soaked in His Word. Before you know it, there are certain things you will grow above. Do you understand? So right now, guys, we want to close this show right now. We want to close this whole thing. And don't forget to tune in for the next episode on the roles of mentor, in relationship. Do well to subscribe. Do well to like. Drop your comments. That will help us, know what to, put on the show for you, and see how we can give you as much as you want. All right, guys. I remain my humble self, Eugene Ogbeide, and I'm the uncle for I Love You Everyday show, organized by Heart to Heart Guidance and Counseling Center, Benin City, Nigeria. See you soon. Goodbye.